What's up, everybody? Here we are, the after show, but later. It's your boys D and Louise Cortez Jr. for episode number 327. Man, I know, Lisa. Here we are at a later start time than usual. Thank you guys for joining us. If you are joining us live, I know. Megan Fossey, she said she was going to try and jump on. We knew Andrew would be here. I'm not sure where Megan lives, but I know where Lisa is. It's 10:32 Eastern time right now. So we appreciate you guys joining us. Louise, how's your week going? Any new tattoos? Did you go to Paris? You have a new baby? What's going on in the world of Louise?
Yo, what's up, everybody? And thank you for those of you guys joining late. I had to drive 4 hours to see a customer and then 4 hours back. So just it could have done it from the truck, but we wanted to make sure we give you the full experience. So thanks for having us. Not much this week, homie. I am planning a Paris trip. I think your birthday's around the corner. Mine is too. So I usually try to get tattooed for my birthday, which is in March. So I'm talking to my special gal, and hopefully I can line some up. It'll probably be about late March, April. It just works better for us that way. So I'll be going somewhere on the coast. I can't even say. I don't want to fuck it up and embarrass myself. But it's a nice little island thing out there in Europe somewhere. So I'll spend a week with her and go enjoy myself. But that's what I got lined up right now, brother. And just excited for Dodger baseball. So I'm out here at Chavez Ravine today. I got my Dodger swag on. Spring ball starts Friday, I think, right? Fuck, give us something to look forward to. So just excited to cheer on my Dodgers this year, and hopefully we can three-peat that shit.
Okay, now you said this Friday, right? And I couldn't tell you. Call me in October for baseball. So
Yeah, for real.
so
It's all
yeah,
good.
yeah. I'll see you guys in October. I'll be cheering on whoever's getting ready to go to the World Series. You know what I love? I love like freaking like Halloween time because it's usually either World Series or close to it. Then you have football, basketball is probably in like game two. It's just like, oh, that is just, ooh, it starts cooling off over here because right here, it starts getting to like 118, ish. So by October, it's cooling off. So it's cooling off. We have all the major sports. It's so exciting. So I'm super excited for that time. But I'm excited for you. I'm always excited, Doug, when my friends are happy. So if you're excited about, spring training, then I'm excited for spring training. If you want the Dodgers to three-peat, I want the Dodgers to three-peat, right? I know Cavino and Rich would not want that, right? They want a Mets World Series or a Yankees World Series. And since I don't keep up with baseball very well, very closely, I don't know how likely that is for either of those to happen. But I know that the Dodgers been buying everybody and their mama, so I'm pretty sure the Dodgers have another good chance of winning. But so I don't know. I might have to become
Sure
a
the
Dodgers fan.
I'm sure the betting odds would say that too. And the Yankees, they didn't make that many moves, but at least the Mets did. They were kind of stalemate, but they got a couple good players this year, at least for this cup season. So we'll see. But I mean, I'm just something to look forward to. But just like there's too many fucking games. I'm not like Cavino. I think he watches every fucking one. I'll watch the ones I can. You know what I mean? If I can, or when I need
Yeah.
something to do, kind of put it on the background. But there's too many fucking games. I don't think I'll watch them all. Once it gets later in the season, for sure. But right now, I'm not really just excited to do something else instead of. Did you catch the All-Star shit for the NBA? I know you're an NBA guy.
I did not. The day it was going on, I was actually I had all day was family stuff because of there was like pageant stuff, and then I had a buddy in town, so we ended up not doing any of that. So I didn't catch any of it. I heard it was an improvement from previous years because the last couple of years, dog, I hadn't even well, I had watched the All Star Weekend, and it was whack, dog. I think the dunk contest. Dog, I can't speak. I see what happens when we go an hour later, hour and a half later. I can't speak.
Spend
I
some.
think the dunk contest is usually like cool or whatever, but the All Star game has been whack lately. But from what I hear, they made some improvements. So I don't know if you caught it. If you did, I mean, you can share some of that, but I'm not really sure. I missed all of it. So
I watched a little bit of the highlights, and I know Kevin and Rich talked about it, but it's just like no namers, I guess. Which, if you don't know anybody, then you kind of don't. To me, at least, you have no one to cheer for. So when I was watching people dunk, it was like a 3-point competition was okay. But the game itself, at least, was competitive. Most of the time, it's like fools don't even want to play. So it was at least
yeah,
TV worthy, I guess. But as a non-NBA guy, I didn't go out of my way to watch it. But before, I remember they was like, "Oh, hey, did you see so and so jumped over the fucking car, or he did some
Yeah.
crazy shit?" Like there's none of that. So like, if it ain't hitting the mainstream news or ESPN and that shit, then it wasn't that good. At least that's my take.
Yeah, no, I remember back in the day when like Blake Griffin was jumping over a Kia and then we had like all these different things. I know that is that those were always things that we looked forward to but I don't know, Doug. You know what though? There was even a dude from I don't know if they just started this a couple years ago, but there was a dude I think that won the last couple of years was from like the G League. It was this white guy from the Magic. He got down, but I think I want to say the reason why he was able to is because he was like benched for a couple of NBA games, so the G League like allowed it. Or I don't know what it was, but that little white dude was badass. So I don't know what happened this year. I didn't even catch the highlights from it. I was completely tuned out. So hopefully there's some good shit. I mean, it'll give me something to do after this. Go and check out the highlights because I completely forgot.
Yeah, no, it was good for sure.
So
At least for you, you might know them more than I do. But yeah, I think that if we were saying they brought him up just for that, like he played here and there, and then they would bring him up to come to the dunk contest. And I mean, he was kind of what it was at. But I remember, I forgot, was it the Celtics little guy? Even that shit was badass. We used to go to the dunk up. I don't remember his name, but he was like the little shortest guy, and he used to play for the Celtics. And he would go to the dunk competition just to see that little fool like out jump the big fools. To me, I mean, I'm talking 5, 10 years ago. That shit was
yeah.
pretty badass.
I'm like the only one I could think of that actually ended up going to the Celtics that was like that was maybe Nate Robinson, but that was
I
later in
think it
his
was
career.
him.
Well, I don't know if he was a crazy dunker. I don't remember too great. There were some little dudes though back in the day that were dope. But yeah, but I don't know, just I maybe Cavino and Rich talk about some things kind of lose their luster over the years, right? And I think I don't know if it's because like I'm getting older and maybe I had like things to do where it kind of like wasn't even on my radar, or if it was just because it's gotten weaker in previous years where I was just like, So I don't know. Maybe it was a combination.
What's up with you? How was your weekend? I know you're married and got a family. Did you do some? I know it was Happy Valentine's, papi. Did you
Yeah.
guys do anything or what?
Yeah, it was cool. We well, for us it was a family day basically doing a bunch of pageant stuff. So it was a pageant weekend. We had the girls like just a lot of stuff you guys don't give a shit about. But it was funny though. The one thing that I had to do was record. The girls are doing like this upcoming weekend. They're giving up their crown. They're moving on. They're whatever. So it's gonna be for a new class. And I had to record the speeches from everybody where they're like, "I'd like to thank my mom," and all that. And so I had to record the speeches. So I had my equipment there, and I was going through and having the girls sit and read their papers and all that. And it's funny because my daughter's so jaded with all of like the editing and everything. One of the little girls, she's like one of like the 6 and under kids or whatever, and she wanted to watch me while I was editing. And my daughter goes, "Why are you doing that?" And she goes, "Cause," she's like, "I'm locked in." And my daughter goes, "Why? It's boring." And it's just because like she just sees it all the time. But this little kid just saw like she was so stoked because when she was done, she was like, "It's like I was on the news. I had a microphone and a paper." So she was all stoked. And hers was actually the hardest to edit since she is all little. She was just like, it was a lot of preparation for her. So but it was cool though. We basically spent the day doing pageant stuff, and then yeah, man. I mean, it was just like a family weekend and nothing crazy. My my boss this week was like, "Oh," she was like, "So you guys do anything fun?" She's like, "G-rated." And because like we're all married and stuff, so she was like, "I don't need any of those stories," and we're like, "Nah, it was nothing crazy, just family stuff and pageant stuff and all that." So I got to see my buddy unexpectedly. He showed up, and I swear, dog, his dad and my dad were friends in high school, and
Damn, you guys go back.
so it's funny because like it's funny because I could sit and listen to his dad dog talk tell any story, dog, because he'll be like, he starts a story, dog, and then he like looks at you and he like pauses and he like wants your reaction. He's like, "Mijo," and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" Whatever. He's like, Tú sabes el Rafa. I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, but he's just like, he'll like, and then like he'll say something, and then he pauses and he looks at you. I told my buddy, I was like, Doug, I was like, your dad needs to be interviewed by like Theo Vaughn. I go, I think Theo would like eat it up and make him like feel like he's the man. And then when his dad's telling his story, dog, he likes to like be the man when he's telling the story, dog. So it was just cool. I always like to see the family and stuff and kind of catch up on things like that. So yeah. Um,
Hey, I got a question real quick related to maybe Kavina and Rich and some fucking terrible news that was going on in Vegas. So, I mean, I'm sure like your daughter does cheer and dance and stuff like that, right? There was like some sad news. I'm sure there's like a community there of people or you guys cheer, you know what I mean? Do you hear about the sad shit that happened in Vegas though?
no.
It was over the weekend and it was like unfortunately, it was like there was some kind of cheer competition and I don't know all the details, but it was like some kind of competition and they have them all the time in Vegas. Obviously, I'm
Yeah.
sure you've probably been to one here before. It was some kind of cheer competition and or a dance competition and some lady came from Utah, I think, with her like 9 or 10 year old daughter. And they like a thing came out, even came out on my phone or whatever, like missing person kind of shit, and they were looking for her and her daughter, and like people, obviously kind of fucking sad, and then come to find out that that lady actually fucking off the daughter and herself in a hotel room and shit, and it was kind of unfortunate over some bullshit over custody battle or whatever. It was horse shit, but maybe I'm figuring maybe you guys might have heard about it or seen it since I figured that's kind of a community,
If
and
it's
I'm
if
sure it
it's
kind of hits close to home.
if it's what I'm thinking of, it was one of the pageant girls. There was I did see things going on this weekend that were had they started like a GoFundMe and stuff for the family and whatever,
Yep.
and they kept like putting her picture and stuff, but it was like I don't know if she was there for pageant or cheer or what, but I just know she was part of the pageant community. We went I'm pretty sure my daughter knows who she is because we went to Utah I don't know, maybe close to a year ago, and we went for their pageant, and it's part of all the same stuff. So yeah, I saw that a little girl, I saw what had happened, but I didn't know it was in Vegas. So when you were asking right now, I was like, oh, I didn't know that's what it was because you said cheer,
Right.
and I was thinking pageant. So,
Right.
but yeah, no, there was she was related to the community of the at least the pageant community that my daughter's involved with. So
Yeah,
yeah,
just terrible news and shit. But my hearts go out to them and take care of yourself, man. Fuck, your brain and shit, and health is wealth. And
yeah,
I think now more than ever, that shit's important. Some fucking lady didn't know how to handle her shit. Unfortunately, it took her daughter's life in her own. But
yeah,
anyway, I ain't trying to be negative, Nancy, but just wanted to hit that.
yeah, yeah.
Related to that too, just kind of about communities too. These guys were fucking having awkward burgers with the whole community and travel ball. I figured like maybe you kind of have a little bit of take on that too, right? Kind of because you kind of travel with some people. I'm assuming. What's your take on that?
I do, and I had a lot of thoughts. So I think again, I'm gonna reiterate what Cavino said is what Rich is doing isn't wrong. It's not. I mean, it might even be the way to go. However, we travel a lot. You mentioned, cheer for Vegas for cheer, and we probably have been, 2 or 3 times this year for cheer events. Um, and I okay, I don't want to have a shitty time, right? I want to have a good time. I want to enjoy the people I'm around. However, I am not the one that is like, hey, let's all, get together and go have breakfast or whatever. Like if it happens and it's because, the moms coordinated it or something and I have to go, I'll go. But I feel like when we're traveling and stuff, like they mentioned like, oh, there's so much downtime and this, but at least when I go to like a cheer competition or something, dog, it's like the girls are up at 4 and 5 in the morning, getting their hair, their makeup done. They have to be show ready at like 7 a.m. So then you go, usually a whole day of competition, and you're there till 4 or 5 p.m., maybe 6 p.m., and then you're exhausted. So even if you do get a break in between, you're going to the room, you're trying to catch maybe a nap or something. And so I don't know, like I'm not looking for, hey, I hope this family comes and this family comes and things like that, because to me that's just foreign, the way Rich is just like, no, I want to travel with this family. I want to, hang out with this family and there's downtime. I feel like for those events and stuff, in my downtime, I want to take a nap or kick it or just, sit down or take a shower or I'm not looking to go and mingle in my downtime because that, especially if you're traveling, like say we're traveling 4 or 5 hours to go to Vegas. And then, so, I mean, that already is a pain in the ass. You get there, you want to just kick it. So I don't know. I'm not, I have to lean more Covino on the minding my business. And I know Rocket Dog had said something about, I think he texted Rich and he said something about making memories or doing this or that or whatever with these other parents. But I'm like, aren't you making memories like with your own family and stuff? Like, and if you do have like an extra day or something, aren't you like going with your kid to go to like make slime or something or whatever? But I don't know. To me, it's just like Covino said, it's not wrong the way Rich is doing it. I just am not that person where I'm like, let's look for a family to go wherever for.
I
So
feel you. Like I don't have a horse in the race. I don't have any kids, none of that shit. But I have a homie who does travel ball, and I kind of see both sides. But I don't care who you are. If it's your downtime, I feel like that's when you want to recharge your batteries and shit. Like you're kicking it with these people every day or all weekend. No offense, but the last thing I want to do is like when it's your time, like, oh, let's go chill with these guys again and shit. Like, hey,
yeah,
even if they're cool, whatever, like, yo, I need to fucking take a shower. My cup's empty, bro. I need to like just recharge because I gotta hit it again, you know what I mean? But I get both sides. I know Spotty chimed in and he was like getting all psychoanalysis about it.
yeah,
And I think there's some reality about that because like I feel like Rich always, hey, come to my house to do that shit, which I think that's cool. I like people like that because it creates an environment and a community, which is kind of what Kavita Rich is. And Rich does that even more at his house and shit. But like, I feel like there's a limit. I also feel like if you're gonna be traveling with these people a lot, I don't want them to be lames or lops either because I'm like, oh fuck this guy again. Like fuck, I gotta listen to him
yeah,
fucking talk.
yeah,
But so I just thought I figured you might be relatable to you because of what you
yeah.
do too.
And the thing is, dog, is that like like you said, you don't want it to be a bad time. You want people to be cool. And it's like, yeah, I want them to be cool, whatever. But dog, at the same time, like especially if you're doing something like cheer, pageants, whatever, dog, you're already spending a lot of time together. Like say there is a cool family, right? And I'm like, I know that we're gonna be in Vegas or Phoenix or Palm Springs or whatever. And I know that we're the day of the competition, dog, you're already seeing each other 8 or 9 hours like during the day. Like maybe you guys get ready and you're down to the lobby before you're gonna head and you're like, hey, what's up? Whatever, whatever. You do want somebody you can kind of BS with, right? You want somebody that isn't a lame, right? You want to kick it, you want to have a little conversation, whatever, whatever. You guys go to the entrance, like while your kids are dancing or cheering or whatever. You want to kind of like kind of bullshit, whatever. Yeah, 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 cool. Yeah, hey, that was crazy, huh? Yeah. Oh, they hit it. Good. They didn't get any deductions. They hit zero. Yeah, that's what's up. But it's like, dog, you're already doing that for 6, 7, 8 hours during the day of the competition or baseball game or basketball or whatever your kid does. So you're doing that for an entire day. So I feel like when I remove myself from that and it's time to go to the hotel or whatever, I'm spent, dog, and I do want to kick it with just maybe me and my wife and my daughter, or maybe just, you know, even me by myself with my AirPods and take a walk around the hotel. Like I don't that constant, I don't want to say
Stimulation.
yeah, I guess it is because and I don't even want to say like I don't need it because I'm always listening to a podcast or something, dog, but I feel like even if I am and I'm taking a walk around the hotel or I go to the hotel gym and I just want to walk on the treadmill or take a walk around the city or something and I have my AirPods in, I get to kind of zone out and kind of like meditate, right? Just kind of zone out and just kind of debrief. I can't imagine getting done with competition, being like, all right, we're all gonna go shower and we'll be back in the lobby at 6:15. Like, dog, we fucking got done with the competition at 6. We want to go and be back in, 15 minutes. And now we're all going to go to dinner and now we're going to, and it's like cool. Cause yeah, sometimes you do that where you might hit a dinner together or something, but I feel like a lot of times, dog, it's kind of like you do kind of do your own thing. At least the way I've done it, and maybe there are families that I maybe I just have ignored it, but I don't know. It's just we spend so much time together with these people, so I do agree. You want them to be cool, you want them to be interesting, but you don't. To me, I don't want to fill every second of my trip with these people. So I don't know.
That shit
That's
sounds exhausting.
it does, right? And that's the thing is that it's exhausting as it is, right? Whether you're
Yeah.
traveling 3 to 5 hours in a vehicle or whatever it is, and then get to the hotel, and then like I said, for the girls especially with cheer and dance and pageants, they're up at 4 or 5 in the morning. So Doug, I feel like you're beat, and maybe it is because with like cheer and dance pageants, like these things, they do have to be full glam and they are up hella early. And maybe it's different than if your kid's playing like t-ball, like Rich's son or whatever. Maybe you get them up an hour before you go and then you guys just bounce and it's all cool. You don't have to worry if Ben's hair is curled and he's got his full makeup on, and like all of that is hours before you even start. So I mean, you just got to make sure his ass is clean and he has on his little baseball pants. It's just like I don't. Maybe it's just that. I don't know. I don't know. But Andrew says I was never friends with my kids' parents, and yeah, I was never. No, no, no. Wait, I messed it up. With my kids' parents would be me, right? I was never friends with my kids' friends' parents. That's what he said. So and that's the thing, dog, is that if you do, right, connect with the parents, cool. But like I'm not being like, man, I hope or I hope my daughter likes this girl because her dad's cool or whatever, I mean, I like cool. If he's cool and they get along, cool. And if she likes somebody where the dad's a lame, then I'll fucking mind my business. Like I don't really trip on like, ooh, I hope she's friends with Dorothy because Dorothy's dad is cool. I don't give a fuck if her dad's lame. Dog, my daughter's got plenty of friends that their dads are fucking lames, and I'm just like, cool, like then fucking dog. There was this one dude. My wife, she has a cheer gym. One of the dads. I walked in and he walked up to me and he's like, "Do you work at Papa John's?" And I was like, "Do I work at Papa John's?" I was like, "Motherfucker." I was like, and I was just like, "Oh no, like why?" He's like, "Oh, I thought I saw you there and this and this and this," and he wanted to make conversation. I'm like, "Dog, I'm like, I'm good." Like, like I
Was
don't
he
need.
calling you Doughboy or what?
I
Fool?
guess so. He was like, I was like Ice Cube in that meme on that part where he's like this in the movie. But no, but I was just like, I don't need that fucking
Mm.
small talk, dog. I'm like, I should have just said yeah and moved on, like, but he kind of caught me off guard, and so I don't know, dog. I don't know. Maybe I'm just antisocial or something, but I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. Anyway, well, guy says I coached my kid for 11 years, and I feel my job was to make the kids better, not to be a family friendly guy. Yeah, and that's the thing, dog, is that I feel like there's always so many things going on, and maybe that's just my problem, but I always feel like there's so many things going on. I know my wife's gonna be at a very high alert, so I'm not trying to piss her off, right? I'm trying to make sure I put the bag where it needs to go and I do this, and I'm just trying to like I just want to have a good time. I'm already like I don't know. I just feel like there's so many moving elements. My goal is not to go and kick it with Joe Schmo. So I don't know.
For sure.
Anyway, so what else?
What you got? I just got a couple more things too. Just wanted to give the guys a couple of shout outs.
I got
Um,
I got those pictures and videos and stuff if you need to.
Yeah, just I don't know if anyone, for those who guys don't have tier two, you missed Rich fucking eating shit. Did you see that? Did you
I
see that
did.
video? That shit was hilarious. I fucking screamed that just so I can have it for blackmail later. But just something for those guys that were wondering what the fucking different tiers are. I mean, here and there, if you're a listener guy, I get it. But if you have the opportunity, like I sit behind the desk sometimes, so I get to watch it, which is fun. But this was a good reason to have tier two to watch, yeah, Rich eat shit and then kind of in slow motion. That was kind of fun. The other one just Cavino. I know he always listens and shit like that, but he was able to shout out Wes and Bree's sons for her birthday on Turbo, and then I got a
Evan,
little bit of a yep, I got a little bit of shout out in there because
I seen
you know
that.
I support. I do the power line shit, so I was in there with the power line, and so just appreciate those guys hooking it up. And you know, making sure they support us and we support them. So thanks to the boys and to the crew and shit. And then the last one, I know we were kind of talking about it last week about the tickets and shit. So I told Rich, I called him, I'm like, hey, fool, I'm not like you. I don't want to just fucking post pictures or videos of your fucking kids. I asked for permission. I'm like, do you mind if I share this video of Ben and shit with the tablespoon? But so I did buy tickets, and I know Lisa and everyone was saying, "Yeah, we bought tickets last time and we didn't get shit or a thank you." So I thought it was special, but I think it was today or yesterday when they were. He was actually talking about he sent everyone a video, and so he sent me a video, and then if you want to pull it up when you get him in, it was funny, and then it kind of cut off. So then he sent me an audio of Ben trying to butcher my name, and he was trying to say Luis Cortez Jr. And I didn't
It
send you
was
that one,
it
but that
was
shit was
funny. No,
fucking.
so what I'll do is I can't play the video. I just realized I can't play the actual video, but I got a picture up on screen and then I'll play the audio from it. So let me go ahead and go to that real quick. So here was the video that Ben made for Louise, and let's play the audio for it.
Thank you for buying me so much tickets, bro. Wait, you have to press the button then.
I pressed the button. No, he doesn't have his bro button anymore. What are you making? Jeez.
We're making chocolate syrup with Florida sugar.
Oh, great.
Thank you for buying me so much tickets, bro.
Here we go.
I cut it off when you said Louise, so say thanks, Louise.
Thanks, Louise.
Louise!
Louise.
I like it. He goes, "Thanks, Louise."
Yeah, I want that Rolex, dog.
Louise!
Louise.
I was just trying
Luis
to help, and it was
Cortez.
all good. And then,
Luis
like I told Rich, I'm like,
Cortez.
yo, I just want to, give you guys a thanks back and actually just throw in Daniel's face that you actually sent me the tickets and a video.
Well, check this out. I like when Ben's trying to say Cortez. It's funny as hell.
Luis.
Louise!
Louise.
Luis Cortez.
Louis Cortez.
No,
Cortez.
Cortez.
Luis Cortez.
This shit's funny.
Luis
I'm a
Cortez.
5-year-old little white boy fool. He
that
did the best he
sounded
could.
like-
Like,
Doug, I thought
he gets a pass.
That was so cute though. Luis Cortez.
Yeah.
Luis Cortez. Like, dog, I just every time because you sent it to me earlier today, and I was playing it, and I was trying to like crop it and stuff because I wanted to play the video, and like you had received notifications. I'm trying to crop out the notifications, and it was just in my head. Cortez, Luis Cortez, and I was just like, dog. And it's funny though because like, they tell so many stories about the kids, and whenever like they invite them into the studio, and he'll like sit on Rich's lap, and he'll be like, "Hey Ben, tell the people hi," and Ben comes in, and he's like, "Hi people," like because he gets super shy because he can see the monitors, he can see himself on it. It's probably overwhelming, but when you get to see these moments where they're in their element, and he's like, "Luis Colatas," it's just you see that personality that they talk about. So
Right.
I thought it was super cool. I loved it. So I thought it was very cool. And if we provoked anything for Rich to say thank you to people, and when we were talking, smack about him never saying thank you, then our job is done. That's what
Yes.
I think, because I think it's really cool. I know I heard some shout outs on the show. He shouted you out. He shouted out Lisa, a couple of people. So I thought that was really cool. So it's very cool when that happens, because you guys are doing this, and a lot of you guys didn't buy one ticket. A lot of you guys bought a handful of tickets, and Doug, you guys are spending your hard-earned money to check out Patreon, right? Because they have so many free options. You catch them on Fox Sports Radio, you catch them on Overpromised, you can catch so many options. So you're paying already to check them out on Patreon, and then you're going above and beyond and paying and buying raffle tickets, right? I know you said you want that Rolex, but it's kind of like you're still helping out Ben at the same time.
Sure.
So it's cool when they actually like acknowledge, hey, this was really cool, and I feel like he went above and beyond this time, where he actually not only thanked you guys on air, but he had Ben do these little videos. I thought it was really cool. So shout out to Rich for that. I thought it was really nice.
It's just kind of what you do, and and it was kind of unfortunate when we talked about it last week. Some people were like, "Yeah, it almost like you don't want to do it anymore," because like you do something you kind of want at least a recognition. So I think for all of us, I'm just bullshitting. I would love a Rolex, but I want to help the kid out, whatever, right? I'm supporting them. That's really the purpose behind that. So, and a good heartfelt thanks goes a long way. So I appreciate it, and it was just fucking cute and funny, little fucking Ben.
100%. Let me see. You know what? We might get into. Let's see what else we have right here. Before I. Oh,
I just got that picture. I had one more question for you, and that was it. When you get a minute, that other picture.
All right, so let me go ahead and go to the picture with the. I'll read the meme that you had sent to me. So if you guys are only listening to this, honestly shocked. Mexican moms don't run the curling world. So this was the picture that you sent to me, and I know you said you had some comments on it. So if you're only listening, they have, right now it's the Olympics, and they have curling is one of the sports that we always watch and go, I could do that shit, right? And the meme that Louise shared with me is actually a bunch of moms with mops, Mexican moms with mops, and a big old container of Fabuloso next to them. So they're going ahead and they're mopping the floor to get the curling little ball across. So what were some comments you had for that?
So first of all, this came from Covino. He hit me up yesterday. He's like, "Hey, fool, check this out." And I started laughing and shit. I'm like, "Hey, fool, you know what? I think we need to build a fucking all-star team and shit. Like, I think we have the perfect candidates and shit." I'm like, and so I think I'm like, it'd be this was mom, Cavino's mom, Hortensia, my mom, Ana Gloria, and I'm like, yo, we need to see if Daniel's mom's here because I'm sure she has the credentials, dog. I mean, she'd probably been doing it forever, fool. And I'm like, they're gonna take gold, fool, but instead of a gold medal, it'll be a fucking gold fabuloso fucking bottle that they take home. So I just want to see if I can recruit your mom. I don't know what her name is, but it'd be Hortensia, Ana Gloria, and your mom, and I think that they win gold, fool.
Well, go ahead.
Automatic.
We have to recruit my mom, and not only do we have to recruit her, actually, I think Covino would approve because Covino and Rich have met my mom before. So we got the moms over here. I think, and there's 3 of them on screen. We got our 3 moms. I feel like Covino's mom, I'm assuming, is a little older than your mom, a little older than my mom. So, she could be the one, I would say, on the right is kind of like the ringleader. It's kind of like the mom and the tias. I think like our moms would be the tias, and your mom or Covino's mom would be like the nana. So it would be like, help everybody working as a team. So, no, I feel like which one do you think would be your mom? If you think your mom would be the one in the middle, or you think your mom would be the one?
My mom doesn't give a fuck. She'd be like, so she'd probably be in the one in the middle, like, yeah, I'll throw this shit down I'll do it. Like, she'd probably like take it by the reins, and she likes that shit.
And no, dog. And it's fun. It's funny that you say that because I was at my mom's house the other day, and she has this like coffee table type of thing, right? But it's got like a glass like top, and then like there's like metal, on the bottom or whatever. And so she's sitting right there, and she looks. She's like, I need to dust that. And I was like, the fuck? I couldn't even, dog. In order to see it, you had to like angle your head a certain way and let the light catch it. And she was like, no, but it was too dusty for her. So, dog, I feel like this is just like 100%. My mom would be, because, dog, my mom is constantly cleaning, and I don't know, maybe it's just like a Mexican mom thing. So 100%, dog. Like, and it's funny, dog, because like my mom's very Americanized, but dog, some of those values and shit and cleaning and all that are old school as fuck. So yeah. So if you guys want your mom to be an alternate, let us know. We can go ahead and throw her in on cruise. So
it's the dream team right there. What's her name, fool?
My mom's name is Frances.
It'd be Francis, Tencia, Nana.
They call her Pancha.
Taking a Panchita.
My daddy used to always call her Pancha. Oh yeah, Pancha.
The gold fabuloso.
Yeah. So this was cool. I thought this was super dope. Let's see what else I have. As far as, oh, dog, this was actually, so we have, I'm only going to talk about this briefly because I just have a quick question. So, we have our friend, member Double M, with her podcast, and she was joining, she loved your Star Wars stuff. So we actually, I saw a story that she had said. I was watching her YouTube channel, and she had said, dog, that she went to go, I know this happens all the time nowadays, but I wanted to know how you would react because right now I don't even know how I would. So she went on a date. Our friend Double M, right? Also here on YouTube, you can find her channel. She's got a podcast. So she said she went on a date, and she was expecting her dude to, we'll say, look like this, right? So her dude, you know, young, vibrant, you know, very very youthful, very handsome. You know, I got a picture up here of Amanda Bynes back in the day where she was young and cute and all that. And then, but what showed up to her date, so Double M is expecting this Amanda Bynes, and then what showed up to her, and I say this with all due respect because Amanda Bynes to this day seems like a very sweet girl. But this is what actually showed up. So it's Amanda Bynes in 2026 is actually what showed up to her date. And I just want to know if you guys, and you guys in the chat, let us know too, that I've never dealt with a catfish. You know, I kind of was spoken for before like all of this, you know, online Tindering and shit and swiping and all that became like popular. How would you handle this, dog? Like if you are expecting, you know, what is it, 2010 Amanda Bynes, and then a 2026 Amanda Bynes shows up to your date. How do you even, how do you, like, I don't, dog, and I'm asking because I don't even know how I don't know if I would just be like, play it off like you didn't even notice and then just ghost them. I don't know, dog. I don't know what the proper action is here. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm with you. I've never even generated an online dating shit. I never had to, and even if I had, that's just not how I work. Let's go out and meet somebody like naturally, not through that. But I think I've done it kind of at work and not even like relationship. Like, you know, you send emails to people. Most of the time they have their email signature and they might have their picture and shit. And I'll meet them in person or a trade show, and like, there's not even a passionate thing. There's not. It's just business. And I'm like,
that's funny,
like,
dog.
hey, yo, I'm looking for fucking Tiffany or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, it's me." And I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck, like, bitch, like, how old's your fucking picture? Like, holy shit, like, I'm not gonna say that, obviously, but like, you do not look like your fucking picture and shit."
Yeah.
So like, I make sure to update that mine pretty frequently because it's important, you know, to people kind of know what the fuck you look like and not think you're somebody else. But I would, if it was on a date, bro, I'd be like, "Yo, I think I'm kind of out there." I'd probably say something, bro, like not like to be a dick, but like, yo, like, you know.
Hey, whose picture was that you used? Like,
Real.
how do you throw it out there where because Doug, I feel like the initial, but Doug, the thing is though, if they're doing it that hard, Doug, if they're presenting, you know, 2010 Amanda Bynes and 2026 Amanda Bynes shows up, they know, dog. They're waiting for your reaction, and you don't know that this is gonna happen. So your reaction's genuine. You're like, oh fuck, right? Like, I'm sure it's like, oh, hey, you know, you dyed your hair, or what do you say? Like, you know, but I was just thinking, dog. I was like, I don't know, dog. How I think what I might see. Oh, shenanigans. Let me go ahead and go.
It's crazy, bro. Because I did catch that her podcast. I listened to the day when I was walking my dog, and I'm like, it feels like that happens more and more nowadays, which is just kind of like common. But I'd give you more faith if you fucking look not busted, but if you put a picture and you look like you look, I would appreciate you that more. I would take you more serious because I almost feel like it's false advertising in a way, kind of lying. You know what I mean? Like if that's how we're gonna meet and start a relationship, I'm like, what else are you gonna fucking try to pull the wool over my eyes and shit? You know, if you're already like this is pretty fucking obvious. Imagine what's not obvious, and it would be kind of a red flag for me. But
Doug, I have to tell you a story about my buddy. So this is co-host number 1 of the after show, but later my buddy Johnny. I'm not. I regret even saying that, but the way some chick asked him to prom, right? And this chick was not his flavor. That's what I'll say, right? And this is how she asked him, dog. Hey, I know you're gonna say no because I'm fat, but do you want to go to prom with me, dog? I was like,
you almost have to say yes, bro. Like,
dog, how is that your opening line, dog? And it's like you're almost guilting him into saying yes, you know? So there's more to that story, but I'll tell the rest of that story in a future episode where I don't say his name. So just know when I'm referencing my friend and the prom situation, you can put two and two together. But what else do we have right here, Doug? Let me see. The Amanda Bynes. Oh, Doug, this one. So this is one I wanted to talk about because this was a good conversation that they had, and they were talking about, as a dude, would you get Botox? So we have up here on screen, we have a picture of Simon Cowell, about 10 or 15 years ago, where he looks about 10 or 15 years older than he looks now. So he's gotten plenty of work done. Are you for it? Are you against it? Would you do it? Would you look down upon people that do? What's your whole thing? And let me know if you would like me to go first, because I don't want to ask the question and then make you go first, and then you feel awkward, and then you're like, dog, why you gotta put me on blast? So let me know. Whatever.
It's all good because I actually wrote it down. I wrote Rich wants Botox because I think Rich does want it because I feel like he keeps bringing it up. He keeps asking, almost like bro, I think you're just trying to like poke or fish for it, like almost set us up. So when it happens, you're like, oh yeah, I was already talking about it, almost like, kind of laying little meats. I personally, I'm brown don't frown kind of shit. Even if I did, I'm not that vain. You know what I mean? I guess for these guys, and that's their excuse. Oh, we're in front of a camera, like we gotta look good and shit. But I mean, I just feel like once you do it, you look fucking busted. Like, you know what I mean? Unless it's subtle enough, even with man or women, to just do some crow's feet or whatever, it's chill. But once you start injecting your shit, well, not only do you have to keep doing it, so it's an additional cost and routine maintenance and shit, like on top of getting a fade and doing whatever else you're doing, now you got to get Botox. But I just feel like there's so many side effects and shit that I'd be like, I'd rather look ugly and busted.
I'd rather look ugly.
Like spotted, like I'd rather have my mitten face and shit than maybe look like a mutant fool. You know what I mean? Like, is it really gonna get better or worse? I mean, if it was my homies and shit, if it was Cavino, like when it'd be one-on-one, I'd be like, "Yay." But other than that, I'd be like, hey, whatever, you know what I mean? It'd be all right. But if it makes you feel good and you feel better by yourself, I support it, right? I'm not, who the fuck am I to judge? But the fact of the matter is, I feel like most of them just never look the same and they end up looking worse.
I think, Doug, so I'm not even lying. I'd probably do some crow's feet or something like right here. And, but one, I'm a cheap ass. Two, so I'm like, dog, that's going to be expensive. Two, it's going to have to be, like you said, you're going to have to keep up with it. But dog, for me, dog, my skin is so bad. Dog, I have you can see like patches right here on my elbow. I have plaque psoriasis, dog. I'm like, I feel like if I injected something into my body, my skin is so sensitive, dog, that I feel like they would inject it and then I would have big old red clumps or something, dog. I'm like, oh man. And then once you do it, dog, it's done. Right. So I think maybe sunscreen, right? Maybe some lotions, maybe before you go to bed, put a little something or I don't know, dog, but I'm not saying I wouldn't. I definitely would if somebody maybe gave it to me for free, and somebody that knows, hey, even if you have sensitive skin, nothing's going to happen. You're not going to break out. But dog, when you're doing stuff to your face, I feel like you have to be very sure that you're not going to have some kind of reaction. And I feel like whenever you're putting some kind of foreign object or something in your body, some kind of foreign fluid, Botox substance, whatever, I feel like there's always a risk of some kind of side effects. And I don't know if I'm willing, Doug, I need all the help I can get. And I don't know if I can risk having a side effect on my face. Like I remember Rich one day saying, why do people cheap out when they buy glasses? He's like, they're on your face. It's something that people are looking at every day. So if you're buying glasses, maybe spend the extra couple of dollars to get the nice glasses, right? And for me, I'm like, dog, I don't know. That's all I would need, dog, is for me to be walking around and then have big old red clumps or something. I'm like, oh, dog, I already am like, I already have to watch my diet as far as like, I can't have like too much red meat. I have to have more of like my doctor suggested, like an anti-inflammatory diet where I don't get as red and I'm like, dog, I already have to do all that just with like normal shit. Can you imagine they fucking spray some Botox into my face and now I have fucking red clumps for 6 months? Because once the damage is done, it's done. So I think for me personally, I don't know if I think I would, but I'd have to definitely think about it. I would definitely have to think about it. And the other thing is, dog, I don't know if I would go like all forehead and stuff like that. I feel like that's where you start looking funny. Like I feel like if you fix like a couple of crow's feet, cool. But when you start, your cheeks don't move, your eyes don't move, you're all pulled back, and then your face, like your forehead, like in this one with Simon Cowell, dog. Simon looks like a completely different person. He looks weird. I feel like it's not like he looked great before, but now he doesn't even look better. He just looks odd. So I don't know, dog. I'm not positive.
Have you know someone or have done it and stuff? Because like I dated a girl one time who did it like on her forehead because she didn't like when she laughed or whatever, she'd kind of get a crease here, which is like I'm like whatever, it's fucking natural. Like I didn't fucking pick you because of your fucking crease or not having a crease. So whatever, that was her thing.
That's
She was
not the
paying and
crease you worried about, huh?
yeah, spread them cheeks. But she whatever, I supported her, but like it was crazy because like when she would do it, like there's certain things like you can't lay down. Like you gotta like you can't because it can move, and if it moves, then it'll like let's say it was like in her forehead, and she would explain this to me like if she lays down and it moves to one side and it's gonna solidify there, and now all of a sudden you got to bump like off to the side and shit instead of where it needs to be. So like for a day or two, whatever. So I was like, fuck. They're just like a couple little things you gotta do. I'm like, fuck, that's kind of annoying as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, damn, not only are you paying and all this shit, but like for until I guess it solidifies or dissolves or whatever, then it kind of sets or whatever. I'm like. Are you
Just so
fucking
she could turn
around?
around and laugh like this. Like
For
dog, like
real.
you know what though? And I do know girls that have had like a lot of Botox and stuff, and good for them. We'll keep it at that.
I watched too much bots too, bro. That shit was crazy. And
Oh,
like
I
just
don't that
like
show.
some of that shit was fucking terrible, especially like with women and like body stuff. Like face is one thing, but like
Yeah.
boobs and BBLs and all that. That shit is dangerous as fuck.
Did you see Cardi B is getting her ass removed? They said that she
It's
she said after her tour ends, she's getting her butt implants removed.
a
So
lot of them say it's bad for them too. You know what I mean? I mean, you're putting some foreign fucking
exactly.
plastic in your like. You're telling me there's no fucking side effect, or so your body like somehow like you're refusing it or doing
Yeah.
shit in it.
Anytime, dog, you put anything foreign in your body, you're running a risk of something happening.
Bro, there's been a lot of models and shit like Instagram chicks and all that who've died because they go like to some other fucking country or even in the States, you know what I mean? Because they're doing it illegally or they injected them with the wrong shit and then all of a sudden they're fucking sick and dying and some of them have. So it's like, I'm not trying to risk my cheeks for that.
I know. We're actually we're already coming up on our hour, and I feel like this conversation might take a couple of minutes. So I feel like we have to go to the whole reason, what this episode was named. Let's talk comedy goats, Doug. I know Cavino and Rich were pretty set on Dave Chappelle, and I want to say Chris Rock, but Dave Chappelle was the definite one. So I threw some people in here, and the reason why this conversation came up was because Cavino recently watched Katt Williams' new special, and he was talking about the comedy goats, but black dudes specifically, right? So you can take away your I don't know Bill Burrs and Louis C.K.'s or whoever, Sebastians and all them, just black dudes, just in general. Okay, so he was talking about the comedy goats, and I feel like Doug, I would have to throw Dave Chappelle up there, Doug. And I try to put the picture of their specials that I dug the most on here, and their in the little collage that I made. So we have Dave Chappelle, and my favorite comedy special, dog, he ever did was Killing Him Softly. This was one of the best specials, dog. But in general, I think people can pretty much say he's the GOAT. If not, he's at least top one or two, right? So we got Dave Chappelle in there. I think this is where it gets a little. If we only have three spots and we're only choosing from the ones on screen, which are Dave Chappelle, Katt Williams, Chris Rock, Kevin Hart, and Chris Tucker, who are we throwing in the other positions, dog? I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts. Do you have some thoughts?
Yeah, and like I was kind of leaning with Cavino, and you asked me this question before I even heard the episode, so it was funny because after I heard him, oh no wonder, and it kind of my picks kind of fell in line, and to me it was more like I think it was this timing really for like so like Katt Williams, and I was just trying to look it up. I think it was the Pimp Chronicles
Hmm.
and then American Hustle. Those were right when I was graduating high school, bro. So I was like in my fucking smoking weed day, like and those were the ones that fucking like we would rewatch especially the Katt Williams one. It was fucking
Where
hilarious. It was
dog, he talks about looking at my hair because it's luxurious. Do you remember that? I think it was in the Pimp Chronicles where he's talking about his hair being luxurious.
yeah, it was, and then that's when he was talking about he like motherfucker, this is got death. Like I got shit to do and shit. Like it was so
Talking
funny
about Michael Jackson. Do you climb trees? He's like, no, I don't climb trees, motherfucker. I gotta go to work. Walking around smelling like little kid booty hole. Remember?
So like that one really hit home to me because like it was just like at the peak of like when it was like everybody was fucking reciprocating those jokes. Like everyone was always trying to say that shit. And then Chappelle, everything he did. I mean, and I know you were talking about just stand up, but he just was everywhere. I mean, his skits, the show, and his stand up too. To me. And then I would, I said Chris Tucker, but and I just lumped it all too because his movies and a lot of his stand up too. It was more about timing for me and like kind of when I was into it.
Yeah.
Andrew Sims is asking, is this current? I don't think it has to be current. We're just talking about in general who anyone would think.
And that's the thing is that I don't know. I kind of took from what the conversation Covino was having because then people started throwing in like Steve Harvey and people from back in the day, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. So they start throwing in those. But if we're thinking more current day, more our generation, I think this is a pretty good gauge of who we're talking about. And Andrew, let us know in the comments if you have anybody. Let me see. E-Bike says, Chris Tucker was funny back in the day, not so much now. I kind of agree with that. And I was more of a fan of Chris Tucker's acting. And actually, if you watch some of his stand-up from the Def Comedy Jam times, I remember he talks about one where you're getting it on and you're in high school and you still live at home. So he's like, man, you're over there. He's like, you're trying to put it down. And your mom was like, Chris, are you home? And he's like, Mommy, I'm coming. Mom, I'm coming. And he got down with stand up back in the day. The last, I would say 20 years, his stand up's whack. But overall, like you said, the acting, I mean, who doesn't love Smokey from Friday, right? Who doesn't love just the rush hours, right? So, but for me, I feel like comedy goats, I'm not mad at Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock. I feel like Chris Rock has to be up there with last couple of specials were all right, but some of the things that he put out, dog, were just, oh my goodness, so bad. So, I mean, like badass, like good. And then if we're talking this generation, I think I would throw Katt in there because I was a huge fan of Kevin Hart, his first few specials, but I feel like the last few specials, he's kind of phoned it in and maybe had people write his act for him and just comes out and performs it or whatever. I don't know. I feel like he's very hands off with his act now. But back in the day where he was like, he talks about his uncle and he was like, say it with your chest. He's like, oh, like, you remember that where he talking about his uncle coming out of prison? And I used to love, where he talks about his little kid and he said, he's like, hit him and be like, no, stop it. That's gay. Like, and like all that was back in the day, dog. I thought he was hilarious. But if we're talking about just didn't go, like even Katt's special, his recent special is all right. It wasn't all that, but it was okay. Dog, it was okay. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but there's some, dog, what I liked about his is he incorporates like he'll talk about like a musical artist, and then like he has them drop like a freaking Usher little soundbite or whatever, right? And then he'll be like cut it off or whatever, and then he'll be talking, and then he'll throw in like a little. So there's like it's like a multimedia almost kind of special, And then he's very physical. Like one of the things, I know you haven't watched it, but it's not much of a spoiler because it's right at the beginning, but. You know how there was this whole thing going on about Katt Williams running like a 1 second 40 or something, like they were saying something about he was so fast and all this. While the special starts, dog, and he like hauls ass out of the back and runs across stage, and he hits one side of the stage and he hauls ass and runs to the other side of the stage. And dog, just that. I was like, I feel like he was kind of setting the pace already for this is kind of what you're in store for, right? And then of course, like I said, there was the music and different sound bites stuff that are dropped, but I like the fact that he's very physical. Because he's climbing up on the stool. He's doing there's a lot of acting out he's doing that I thought was cool. I mean I think I'd go Dave, Chris Rock. I wanted to say Katt, but now I'm thinking about the older Kevin Hart shit. I feel like Kevin Hart gets a bad rap because of his shit now, and he's so mainstream. But if you look at
kind of like sold out, it feels like. You know what I mean?
Right. So I feel like that's where I feel kind of like if I put him in there, it's kind of like, no, but I'm not talking about sold out Kevin Hart. I'm talking about the first handful of specials that were so like Doug, I remember there was a joke he had. I don't even think it was on a special. It was like some hood special that was probably like a 30-minute Comedy Central something. But Doug, he talks about like being in the subway with like perverts and shit that are always just trying to go up and down the subway cart just so he could like rub on people. He's like, oh, excuse me. Dog, hey, dog, his shit back in the day was so funny, dog. So I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I have Rock and Chappelle, and I want to say Katt Williams, but for me, Katt's biggest one was the Pimp Chronicles. And I feel like Kevin Hart, there might be a couple more specials that I like, that I liked a lot. I feel like the one I loved from Katt was that one special. So I don't know. I feel like I'm going to reluctantly put Kevin Hart in number 3, and I'll put Katt number 4. How about that? And then Andrew Sims says Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, and Martin Lawrence. You know what, though? Martin Lawrence, not known, at least today, for his stand-up. But, dog, again, if you go back and you watch the Def Comedy Jam, so many of those people, dog, the Martins, the freaking Ari Spears, I'm pretty sure did Def Comedy Jam, Eddie Griffin, right? All of these people, dog, they had some killer sets back in the day, dog. Like in the late 90s, mid 90s of Def Comedy Jam, you had the Chris Tucker, you had Martin Lawrence. They were killers back in the day, dog. But I think a lot of them, they started doing movies and stuff. They started getting out of the clubs. They started not touring as much, doing stand up, and that's where it kind of like went a little downhill. But dog, for their time, I can't argue with Andrew Sims. That those are some good ones right there.
Well, they were kind of in their come up, you know what I mean? So they were like hungry, and like back then it was like more grungier, a little raunchy, dirtier, right?
Yeah.
Like you can get away with more, and then once they started getting more famous, I guess all of them more famous, more mainstream. Like there's certain shit you shouldn't say or can't say because you might get yourself in trouble. But I mean, to me, Katt Williams, like you said, it's so fucking animated. Like you said, I remember when he was like, "Oh, I remember when I met Shaq." And like, "Oh, what's up?" And he put the microphone on his head, like,
yeah.
"I'm gonna get your dick out, mate." Like like just like you said, he would use the stool and he would fucking walk and fall and like I mean, the fucker would be sweating like buckets because he was just like running around doing dumb shit all the time. But I think that to me takes it up another level, like you said, with the sound and the music and. It's just more like in kind of a complete show, right? Not just telling jokes and shit and
Yeah.
waiting for the punchline. So that it was just more attractive to me that way. But I kind of agree. Chappelle's up there. I think it would be 1 for Chappelle, and then maybe Chris Rock, and then Katt, at least for me. And then I would go.
And
Kevin
Doug,
Hart, so.
it's funny though because I think when you have somebody that's doing stand up, but they do add like a different element. Because I love traditional stand up, right? It's like set up, punch, right? You set up the joke, you have the punchline. But when people are doing something different, it is kind of like, oh, dog. It's like when you have like when you're talking to your dog and you're like, you want to eat, and then they're like, huh?
Yeah.
Like it makes you kind of like, huh? Like, wait, oh shit, there's something different here, right? Because you're so used to the standing there. Set up, punch, right? Misdirect, set up, misdirect, punch. Like but when you have them climbing on the stool, you have them, like even like Pablo Francisco, dog. I know he gets a bad rap, another one, but dog, I loved him, his Live from Irvine special that he has, dog. And just like his little tortilla boy and the voices he would do, dog, where he talks about at a strip club. When did you dig Pablo back in the day or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember when he talks about when you're at a strip club, the girls will tell you anything? He's like, you're like, I like monkeys. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I love monkeys. You're like, I like pigeons. Oh, fuck yeah, little pigeon. Like, dog, like just that stupid shit, dog. Like, it is because like he would do like he would do like little voices and shit. Then he would start like humping the pole or doing whatever, or little like dog, just the different voices, sound effects, all that. That was one thing where I dug like Gabriel Iglesias back in the day when he would be like, I pulled up in my little bug, you know, like, or just like the little, that kind of stuff is always, I thought was cool and different to me. And that's why I think Katt, it deserves to be in the conversation at least, you know?
Yeah, and they really paint the picture of the scene they're trying to tell you, so like, you can put yourself in that situation. So to me, then it becomes more funnier because it's just more relatable if you can kind of imagine and picture what they're saying, especially with sounds and stuff like that and voices. It really kind of puts it all together.
It does. I think 100%. It actually, yeah, I think this was a good conversation as far as they had. I love when they talk comedy and they talk like I wish they would get more into podcasts and stuff, dog, and they could actually have conversations like about those, but not their shit, at least not right now, you know. But this was a cool one. I thought this was a fun one. Let us know in the comments if there's anything that you guys want in the future for us to discuss. Any other, you know, maybe not stand-up comedy, but maybe movies, maybe dramatic movies. I'm not a big drama person, but I might have to pick a couple if we have to debate the top whatever. Maybe next week we could even do like your top 3 comedic movies of your childhood or something, right? Dog, for me, one that I haven't watched in a while, but I loved was Super Bad. This is like, I was probably like a senior in high school when it came out, but dog, this shit was, oh my God, I watched that movie so many fucking times. But if we talk about childhood, I mean, I gotta throw Billy Madison in there. I gotta throw Dumb and Dumber, you know, some of those. So maybe we might have that conversation one day. But yeah, here we are.
We're blood brothers. I know that whole fucking movie, dude. I used to watch the shit out of that too. So I know that fucking movie.
I remember 40-Year-Old Virgin. I remember watching it in the theaters, and just like the stupidest shit, dog. Like when he wakes up in the morning, he's taking a leak, and he starts like going everywhere, dog. Just like
so relatable.
So the golden age of movies, I think, especially comedies and stuff. That whole Judd Apatow, you know, Seth Rogen, James Franco kind of era. Oh, so good. But anyway, your yarmulke looks sweet tonight, says Andrew. Thanks. And you know what? Let me hit on that before anything. So, dog, they're talking about my hat being too tight, dog. But I'm like how fucking big do I need it, dog? You fit like 2. So they were bagging on me today, and they were saying that I sport a yarmulke and all this. Dog, how fucking big? How much more room do you need in your hat before they say it's big enough? That's all I want to know. Like right here, look, you could fit a midget in my hat, dog. Like what do I need it to like sit over my ears? I see now we're getting, dog, it even like how I don't understand. But Andrew, thanks for bringing that up. Completely forgot about that. But
Daniel El Cabezon fits.
Cabezon, yeah, which is funny because Rich actually has a bigger head than me. So if you want to see pictures of us, Rich does have a bigger head. So yeah, I at least my head is in proportion to my body, right? But anyway, I don't know if you have anything else, Louise. I think we could wrap it up.
No, man, I just wanted to say thanks everyone, and thanks for working with me today, to being a little late. I know it's late for you guys on the East Coast. If you hung around, I appreciate you, and if not, I'm sure you'll catch up. I appreciate everyone having us here, joining us live, and just want to shout out CNR again and Spotty. Hopefully Spotty, I know he got his surgery. I know he's doing what he can, so hopefully health and wealth to that guy, and appreciate the show and you guys. And then we'll see you next week. Is your birthday between now and then, or do we got a birthday special?
Yeah, no, my birthday is this coming Sunday. So
all right.
Yeah, I will be celebrating this weekend. Nothing crazy to celebrate, dog. So appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. As always, you know, sending ideas, you know, sending pictures and memos and all that good stuff. I appreciate the contribution. It helps me out a lot in the show prep. So appreciate Luis Cortez Jr. It's your boys D, the after show, but later, Luis Cortez Jr. We will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
On the road to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens. And come and spend a day in the 757.